Good morning, Year 4. It's Thursday, the 14th of May. And what we're going to do today is we're going to be doing some test-style questions on either a picture or a piece of text that you haven't come across before. And this is really, really good practice, and you are so good now at doing this. And you can think literal, and you can use inference skills. So this is my picture. I've tried to choose some which you're interested in. And before you even start any of this, you've really got to look at what you think is happening in the image or the photo or the picture or an object. It could be anything. So you've got to look closely before you can even start answering questions. So the literal questions are basically, what is the man doing? Well, he's coming down in a parachute, isn't he? He's travelling in a parachute. What weather is it? Well, the weather looks gorgeous because it's a blue sky. So we're taking that. It's a nice, calm day because it's a lovely blue sky. It's not dark or anything. Is he alone or is he with someone? Well, at that time, he is alone. But he might not have been alone before. He might have jumped out of a plane, or he's come off a cliff and paraglided. I'm not sure. What safety equipment does he have on? Well, obviously he's got a harness and he's got ropes at either side so that he can manoeuvre, he can almost steer where he's going, to go left or right, so that he's able to land carefully and safely. So those are your literal questions, and the inference ones are things which aren't on the page. It's what does it infer? What do you think this means? So for that, what did he jump off? Well, I don't know what he jumped off. So maybe it was a cliff, a hill, somewhere obviously tall, or maybe he jumped out of something. Could he get wet? Yes, he could get wet because he might land in sea or in a river. Perhaps he's hoping he won't do, but that is a case he could get wet. We don't know that. What would happen if a hole was made in the parachute? Well, then it would become unsafe because it would be moving far too quickly. So obviously before anyone uses a parachute, it needs to be checked over really, really carefully to make sure there's nothing wrong with the equipment to come down. What safety precautions would he need before jumping? Well, before jumping, yes, he would have to check his parachute. He would have to make sure that he's got it strapped on correctly. He would have to be planning where it was he was going to land, how he was going to use something, how he was going to land to make sure he didn't break any bones, he was landing carefully. So there's a lot of safety precautions needed for travelling in a parachute. It's not just a case of you just go up and that's that. Okay, so from that you can get a lot of information. You could write lots of information about that. It's almost, you like the colours, it's almost following our theme through, isn't it, of the rainbow colours. So I've just got that one there for you to have a look at as to how you do your question here. Again, this one you can print off. It's been attached. Mrs. Randall, my darling friend, will have attached it for you, so you can print it off. So I'm going to read these, but I'm not going to tell you what I think my answers are. It's a gorgeous picture, isn't it? I fancy being under the sea. It reminds me of a Disney film. What is the setting of this picture? How many dolphins can you see? What colour is the pufferfish? Obviously, you've got to know which is the pufferfish. The inference questions. What do you think happened to the ship in the background? So you might have a little bit of a story there. There's no right or wrong because I don't know neither. Is this setting close to the surface of the water? Golly. So that's you've got to tell me if it is or it isn't, why. Give me some information as to why you know it is or it isn't at the surface of the water. How long do you think the ship has been there? Explain your answer. So again, it is a little bit like writing your own story, which would be wonderful. How long do you think it's been there? Who was on it last? What's inside it? What treasures does it store? So I hope you're enjoying that picture. I thought it was really lovely, and you can get a lot of work from there. Make up some of your own questions. Maybe you want to write a little bit of a story after you've done your inference questions. But to infer, they're your quite hard questions, those, because it's not necessarily the answer isn't there for you to retrieve. It's what do you think? and it's giving a plausible answer, something which you think, yeah, that could be right, it could make sense. Okay? Okay, so that's it from me this week. Join me this afternoon for the last part this week of the one and only Ivan, and I will talk to you then. Bye for now.